Over the past couple of years, we have accomplished some pretty crazy things together. Over 2 million subscribers gained in under 2 years' time. I got to meet some of the YouTubers that I watched growing up as a kid, and I've also made some pretty crazy videos in the process. But now, it's finally time.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
It's time for Ryft merch. It's been a long time in the making, but I now officially have my own merch, including both a shirt and a hoodie. Go to ryftmerch.com to get your hoodie or shirt, or both right now. You either type it in or the link will be at the top of the description and even in the pinned comment. This is going to be a limited drop, so make sure to get yours before it's too late. I went for a very simple look with this merch. I think it's very clean looking with the white text and the purple outline. This is honestly a dream come true to have my own merch finally. Since I want as many of you guys to have this merch as possible, I'm going to be giving away a few pieces of merch throughout this video. One of them I'm going to be giving away right here. When you see a code like this pop up on the screen, make sure to go to ryftmerch.com and type that code in at checkout, and you can get either a shirt or hoodie for free. There will be a few more codes like this throughout the video, so make sure you watch all the way through to have your chance at getting a free Ryft shirt or a free Ryft hoodie. My loyal supporters and people who are subbed with noties on will have an advantage here because the code's a one-time use, so if you're first to watch the video, you'll be able to have a chance at getting this code. I try to make this merch as affordable as possible. I think the prices are pretty reasonable, and I also wanted it to be wearable and not be some cringe YouTube merch that people wouldn't want to wear outside because they'd be too embarrassed to wear it. I mean, for me personally, I'm gonna wear this all around to pick up all the girls, so you already know what's up. Oh, and speaking of that, you may be wondering what the perks are to owning this merch. First of all, you instantly have the fastest fingers in the world when you wear this merch. Not only that, but you can easily pull every girl you see. And obviously, you obtain the floating powers to become the fastest editor in the world. But besides all that, it looks pretty cool too. I hope you guys do enjoy this. It's something that I've been working on for a while now, and I'm happy to finally have this out to you guys. If for some reason you can't end up buying the merch, that's okay. The least you could do is drop a like on this video because that does directly support me and it helps a lot more than you can imagine. Literally just a simple press of a like button helps me out so much. And don't worry, there will still be a few more codes during this video to get your free hoodie or shirt. But I know a lot of you guys have questions, so I went to Twitter to do a Q&A with you guys. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, so I feel like now is the perfect time to do so. I don't really talk about my life too much. I kind of just focus on the content in my videos, but not really so much about me. If you want a chance to be featured in videos just like this one, make sure to follow my Twitter with noties on so you don't miss out on opportunities just like this one. But now, let's get into the Q&A. Also, don't forget to buy the merch because it makes you the fastest editor.
What?
Spades asks, does the merch make me a faster editor? Yes, it does. Jarian says, how does it feel to be 5'4"? Oh, that's funny. He must have accidentally typed 5'4". He meant to type 6'5". You know, the numbers, you must have messed something up. Yeah. Yeah. What's the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome to get to the position you're in today? That is an actual good question. Thank you. I would have to say that convincing my family to do YouTube full time is definitely the hardest thing to overcome. My parents didn't necessarily understand that YouTube could actually be a career for people at first, so it took a lot to convince them, but it finally worked out and here we are. Can I get it for free, please? Sure, here's a code. Do you think you'll be making Fortnite content in 2 years? Honestly, I think Fortnite gets way more hate than it actually deserves. I think thinking about it from the big picture, Fortnite is actually one of the best games to be a creator for. It has one of the biggest communities and there's a lot of different content to do in the game. So I think for now, probably yeah, but if I ever were to switch from Fortnite, it would definitely be IRL content. Except I don't go outside right now, so we'll have to figure that part out. So for now, I'll be doing Fortnite. When you started your channel, what did people at your school think? Well, when I first started my channel, I didn't want it to be a big thing. So I only told a few of my close friends. I didn't want it to spread around the whole school. I wasn't really that big at first, so it wasn't really a big deal to begin with. I maybe had a few thousand subscribers on YouTube. And then if you guys remember the thing that locked down schools for a year and had us home for an entire year. C word, I don't know if that word gets demonetized, so I'm just gonna call it that. You guys know what I'm talking about. But when I eventually went back to school, I literally had over 1 million subscribers. So to go from nothing to something huge like that, a lot of people in my school were surprised. It's kind of hard to be a normal student after then, but thankfully I was in my senior year of high school and I was online half the time and in school half the time, so it wasn't that bad. But it's definitely an interesting experience being a YouTuber while being in school. Were you ever discouraged by people around you? I mean, especially when I first started, there were a lot of people that didn't really understand what I was doing and didn't see the potential that it had. So I basically had to motivate myself to keep going and not let anyone's discouragement stop me from getting where I want to be. And that's honestly what happens a lot of the time. You have an idea that's different than what most people end up doing. A lot of people don't really see the value in it, but you just gotta follow your dreams and anything can happen really. As long as you're there to encourage yourself along the way, you'll be alright. How old am I? I'm technically considered old for the Fortnite community, and I'm only 18, which is actually not that old. You guys really saw me first uploading videos when I was 15 years old, and now I'm 18. Time really does fly. How do you deal with demotivation and what drives you the most? This is actually a really good question because recently I've seen a lot of people be extremely demotivated. I feel like the best thing to keep your motivation up is to have a reason why in the back of your mind that you're doing something. And also, if you have a schedule and a routine, it doesn't have to be a perfect one, but something you can at least somewhat follow. It helps to get more stuff done throughout the day a lot easier than having no schedule and just doing stuff randomly whenever you feel like doing it. There's been times when I've been demotivated, but I look back a year at myself and I know that my old self would be mad at me if I just stopped grinding and stopped doing anything now. So that's really the main thing that keeps me going. Where do you see yourself 5 years from here? I'd like to be doing YouTube for as long as possible, but if anything ever happens with my YouTube, I'm definitely learning a lot about business while doing YouTube. So if anything ever does happen, I'll definitely be doing something in business or marketing. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd be going to school for marketing or entrepreneurship. So I'd probably be doing something along those lines. How does it feel to be short? How does it feel to be ratioed? How much time does it take for content ideas? I feel like this is one of the most overlooked parts of doing YouTube is you actually have to come up with an interesting idea. I feel like I can't even upload a video if it's not something interesting or unique. I don't really just sit down and think of ideas. Most of the time I think of ideas randomly while I'm in the shower, going to the bathroom, just in random spots. I don't know why, but it just randomly pops up in my mind. I'm constantly thinking about new videos that I can make all the time. How can I pull females? You are not talking to the right person, I'll tell you that much. But you could buy the Ryft merch. If I was a girl and I saw a guy wearing the Ryft merch, I would fall in love instantly. How did you get this slow at editing? I got washed. Only some people would get that joke. Who's better, Bot Luke or Cringe Ryft? Bruh. Who inspired you to be a fast editor in Fortnite? My very first inspiration was Symphony, and then after that, people like Raider and people like Psycho were my new inspirations. Believe it or not, at first in this game, I played competitive, and I thought to be the best competitive player, you have to be the fastest editor in the game. So all I did was just practice edits, and then I realized I can actually do some crazy stuff with these edits. And then I just constantly thought of new edit courses and new clips to go for, and then here we are. How long have you worked on the new merch? I wanted to release this merch earlier, but then some different things came up, and I eventually went on vacation, and I got some really cool pictures with the merch there. So I'd definitely say like 4 or 5 months probably. Why did you name yourself Ryft? So for those of you that don't know, my real name has a Y in it. And my old name used to be Shimwa, but that was a really stupid name that my dad gave me, so I wanted to come up with a new name. So I thought of things in Fortnite, and then I saw a Ryft ago. But then I thought to myself, why don't I just make my name Ryft but replace the I with the Y? And that's exactly what I did. What year did you start YouTube and what made you start? So I started my YouTube around 2.5 years ago. The thing that made me start is, believe it or not, I was an athlete in school. I did soccer and I did track. I got injured during track. I wasn't even the best at track. I was a way better soccer player than a track player. But I ended up hurting my leg in track and I couldn't really do anything for over a year. It was a really weird injury and I didn't have anything to do. And once I had nothing to do, I wanted to fill that time. So that's what got me into making Fortnite content. Now, before I end up this video, I want to talk a little bit about the future and my plans and what you guys can expect from me. So I've had an editor off and on, but most of the time I edit my own videos myself, which take a lot of time. But I'm now planning on having an editor or maybe multiple editors for my channel. So I'm going to be able to make a ton of banger videos way more consistently than I ever have before. You guys can be expecting a new video every 2 to 3 days, and every single video that I post is going to be as unique as possible, like I've always done in the past. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that. Recently it hasn't been the best, but I'm no longer going to be a one-man show. I'm going to have more people working with me. I'm going to start expanding maybe to multiple channels. I'll do different types of content. I know a lot of you guys miss my gameplay and my fast editing, so maybe I'll do some gameplay videos on my second channel. Maybe I'll start getting into some streaming. I have a lot of ideas, and I know that the next few months are going to be game-changing for me. So all I ask from you guys is just to continue to sit back, continue to enjoy my content, and support me. I really had to take a step back and just think about everything that's happened over the past few years. I did not expect any of this to happen. I went from just a normal kid in school to being a full-time YouTuber, and honestly, I'm just extremely grateful to be in the position I am today. I want to keep doing bigger and better things, so I appreciate everyone that's been continuing to support me all this time, and I really just can't wait for the future. I have so much planned and I'm so excited to show you guys. But once again, go to ryftmerch.com. The merch is pretty fire in my opinion. It looks good with anything because it's all black and it has the purple and white text, so I think you can really wear it with anything. I've only been doing this for around 2 years and look how far we made it. I know we can make it a lot further, so I really do appreciate you guys. Expect a banger video every single time. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.